Hello everyone and Merry Christmas! It is the day after Christmas and we are back here on the hiking trail ready to go. If you are new to the channel, what I do here is point of view hiking videos. You see what I see as I go along. I have a camera strapped to me and you will see my viewpoint. I post a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Monday and Friday, what I do is tell you a story. But on Wednesday, I put a zipper on my lips and I don't say a word. Well, I do a little introduction, but then I shut up, zipper up the mouth, and I let you enjoy the sounds of what's around me. To really give you a feel of what it's like to actually be there. But today, I have a very special story to tell you. It is a story that I think when you get to the end, you are going to feel great. I really do believe that it is going to make you feel amazing, and it has an incredible message to it. So I really want you to stick around and listen to the whole story. But here's what's unique about this. This is a story within a story about another story about another story. Now, I have joked about that before, but today it becomes a reality. So I will explain that in a moment. But first, let's get to some business here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Just hit that subscribe button. Also, if you like this video, please tap on that like button. Just give it a good tap. Tap, 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 tap. Well, don't tap it too much because you can actually unlike the video. One tap is good. Just give it one tap. It helps. It really does. It helps. It helps get the video out there. It tells the YouTube algorithm gods that, hey, here's a video that other people should see. So if people are subscribing and they're liking, they're going to show more people. And that works out for all of us because I get to keep making videos and you get to keep watching them. So great.
And now, a shameless plug.
This is Mike with a shameless plug for my own website. I actually have a few websites, but today I would like to introduce you to MikeMBurkeDesigns.com. If you're looking for cool items to add to your home, give as a gift, we got Christmas, you've got birthdays, there are plenty of things to choose from here at MikeMBurkeDesigns.com. A lot of these items are designed for the home. We have beautiful items for your bedroom, for your living room, all kinds of different themes. So check out MikeMBurkeDesigns.com and order today. And there's my shameless plug. All right, so I don't really want to waste too much time. I want to get right into this. Today's story is called The Christmas Angel, and it was originally written in 2008. But here's the thing. It was actually inspired by something I wrote many, many years ago. I believe 1997, I think it was, when I wrote this. No, actually, we got to go back. 1995. Wow. So yes, if you don't really know me too well, if you're new to the channel, my name is Mike. I am a filmmaker, an actor, and a writer. I have directed and starred in over 15 films. I originally started out on a comedy TV show when I was in high school, and it did really well. We did 100 episodes. But one of the things we would do for our Christmas special, because lucky for us, our cable channel would air us on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. So what we wanted to do is, instead of just doing one of our standard episodes, we would do a movie of the week. It was a Christmas themed movie. So the first year was called Scrooged, and it was not Scrooged like the Bill Murray movie, but it was Scrooge, and it was just terrible. It was the first time I had ever made any kind of movie. It was an hour-long movie, and it is just bad. It's on YouTube, called Scrooge 92. If you want to go find it, fine, but it's terrible. Then a year later, we did our fan film, kind of parody, sort of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That was amazing. An absolutely amazing experience, because I went into it thinking we could shoot it in a weekend or two, and it turned out to take 2 months to do it. We were shooting it every day. I was in high school too, so it was difficult to be doing that and going to school. But it ended up being a full-on film production. And it was amazing. And after doing that, I realized that's what I want to do with my life. I want to be a filmmaker alongside being an actor and a writer. I loved it. So the show eventually ended. We ended it on our 100th episode, which was a huge milestone. And 4 years later, I made my first independent film. But in between that time, I started writing screenplays. And in 1995, I came up with this idea for this particular story. And eventually wrote it into a screenplay. But I wanted to make sure that I made this movie at the right time. I didn't want the budget to be too low. I didn't want to just do it low budget style. I really believed in this movie. I believed in the story, and therefore I held off on it. Now you cut to 2008, many years later. And I was thinking about that movie and the message, and really it bothered me that the message I have in it, I haven't been able to get out to the public. And so I decided to convert that screenplay into a short story. However, I did it with a twist. Instead of actually taking that movie and converting it to the short story, I wrote a new story inspired by that screenplay. So it's all new characters, all new setting. The story goes in a different direction, but it's the concept and it's the message. And then I posted it online in a blog post. It did fairly well. People liked it. People I worked with on film sets liked it. So 2 years later, I was thinking about it, and I wanted to do a film short and put it on YouTube at the time, and I started thinking about that. I thought about my original screenplay. I thought about this short story, and I really wanted to make that movie that I had written all those years ago, but still, it just wasn't the right time. And so I decided to look at that short story. And that is when I turned The Christmas Angel into a film short. To my surprise, it has done pretty well. It is actually on Amazon Prime, and here's why that is interesting, because Amazon Prime, about 2 years ago, decided that they would no longer allow independent films and any kind of low-budget film to be on their platforms. They used to have a media on demand service, so they were my distributor, and they were distributing all of my movies on both DVD, Blu-ray, and Amazon Prime, so you could stream it. And then they just decided to give it all up and shut it all down. But they kept that movie up. And I'm surprised, because it's one of the last low-budget films on Amazon Prime. And maybe it's because it resonated, maybe, I don't know. So this has been a very interesting story because, as I pointed out, it is a story about a story within another story about a story, etc. Crazy. But today, I'm taking it a step further, and I'm going to read you the story as we go along on this hike. And I really hope that you stick around and listen to the whole thing, because it has a powerful message. It is very heartwarming and uplifting, but it's also based, I think, on a lot of truth that many of us go through. I really do believe that this could make your day brighter, and maybe for some of you, even change your life. So now I present to you The Christmas Angel by Mike M. Burke. It was a bleak December night. The cold wind felt like 1,000 knives stabbing at my exposed flesh. I was on my way home from a long day's work. Although I would rather not go home, there was nothing there for me. There was nothing in this life for me. I pulled my body into itself, trying not to feel the cold. Despite the painful hell that was the icy cold air, there was a sense of beauty as light snow gently fell from the sky, coating the world below in a blanket of white. It's funny how the snow makes everything it covers look so much better. It can transform a barren neighborhood into a winter's palace. I sniffled my nose, but I knew soon that wouldn't be a problem, as things would begin to freeze solid. As I walked down the street, the colorful glow of the Christmas lights display lit my way. Christmas was once a time of hope for me. I used to love it. I had so much to live for. But now I ask myself, why? Why do I go on? Why is there a need for me to wake up every morning? Tonight, I walk alone. The streets are empty as most people are now at home as Christmas Eve rolls in. I arrive to an empty home, warm my pre-made dinner in the microwave, and then wallow in my own misery. My family is now gone, and I have no friends. I once had dreams, but those have faded. I realized at some point I was just chasing rainbows. Rainbows don't actually exist. They are an illusion. So I gave up. As I continued to walk alone in the cold winter wonderland, the snow seemed to be falling faster and more dense. I knew I would be home soon. Just a little more to go. I've had my dark days. When I was at my lowest, I thought about ending it all many different times, but I just can't really bring myself to do it. I felt like it was getting colder with each step that I took. As I made my way down the street, I noticed something. Up against a building, slightly dusted with snow, was a large lump. Now I have walked down this street so many times before, but never did I see that. As I got closer, I noticed it was moving ever so slightly. The snow was coming down so quickly and fierce that it had become unbearable to walk through. I battled my way through it and moved closer to the formation. The closer I got, the more clear it became. The lump was a person. I couldn't tell who it was, their age, or even their health. All I could make out, that they were wrapped in old tattered blankets, sleeping through the bitter cold. This person had positioned themselves just under the eaves of the building to avoid being buried by the snow. Only a little bit had landed on them when the wind blew. I looked at this person, not knowing what I should do. It was so cold, I couldn't really muster up a thought. On a night like this, I didn't want this person to be laying out here with the elements. It was Christmas Eve, and this was how they were spending it? Without much thought, I took off my thick fleece-lined jacket and placed it over this mysterious person. It was my hope that this would help shield them against the cold wind. It felt like I had been walking for over an hour now. Without my jacket, I was so cold that I could no longer control my shaking. My teeth were chattering and my eyes stinging. Finally, I was home. Although warming up wouldn't be an option. I ran out of oil a month ago and have been without heat. I have a wood-burning stove, but not enough wood. I want to save it for the worst days, although this seems like one of them. I ran into my home and out of the snowstorm. There was nothing waiting for me inside those walls except for darkness. I was too cold to even want to eat, so I skipped dinner. The only thing I looked forward to was getting into my bed under the many layers of blankets and fall asleep with the heat created by my own body. Many years ago on this night, I would not be able to sleep. I would be too excited as I waited for Christmas morning to come. It always felt like an eternity. I can still see it so clearly. My dad letting us know we could actually come down to see what Santa had brought. My mom in the kitchen baking blueberry muffins and getting enough glasses out for the eggnog. Dad would tease us. Look at all this stuff. Oh my God. Look who did well this year. Our imaginations ran wild. Could we come down yet? Not now. The muffins are not ready yet, he would say. But please, Dad. No. Sometimes he would tell us he saw Santa on the roof and thought he was a burglar, so he shot him. My brothers and sister never appreciated his humor when it came to Santa. I knew better, though. Sorry, guys. Santa's dead. No Christmas this year. I never believed him. That little boy still lives inside of me, and that excitement on Christmas Eve sometimes peeks out. That is until reality hits. when I realize I will wake up in the morning to the same old house with no one in it but me. There will be no family gatherings or gift giving, no Santa Claus, and no turkeys or mistletoe. I will wake up to the same morning that I wake up to every day. As these thoughts raced through my head, I nodded off into a deep sleep. The next time I would wake, my entire life would change. It was Christmas morning and I could find no reason to wake up, but I did anyways. After I got dressed and cleaned up, I sat down in a chair and drifted away to a better time when Christmas was full of joy. Wrapping papers scattered all over the room, Christmas songs blasting out of the speakers, glasses half full of eggnog and hot chocolate. As these images danced in my head, suddenly there was a knock at the door. How unusual, I thought. No one ever knocks at my door. I cautiously opened the door, where I was greeted by a woman. Her face was nearly hidden behind a large winter hat she wore. Dirt was smudged on her face. Before I could say a word, she extended her arm out to me, and she was holding my jacket. The very jacket I had placed on someone last night. "I believe this is yours," she said. "Yeah, it is." "Did you find it?" "You wrapped it around me last night." "That was you? How did you know where to find me?" You left your wallet in your jacket?" "Oh my God, how stupid of me. I didn't take anything. Check it." No, it's fine. I just can't believe I did that. I have to go. I just wanted to give this back to you." "Thanks. That's really honest of you. Thanks for the jacket. It did keep me warm." As she turned to leave, something inside me compelled me to stop her. "Wait, please!" She turned and faced me. Would you please stay?" "What for?" "For warmth. It's going to be colder tonight than it was last night." I can't do that. Besides, don't you have a family to go see?" "No, I don't have anyone." "Oh. Look, I don't take handouts. If anything, I will get myself out of this mess. I don't need your help." "Okay, how about this? I'll rent you a room. I have an extra room. There's a bed in there. You take it now, and when you get a job, then you can pay me back. I'll waive the security deposit." I don't know about that." "Please. Are you up to something?" "Up to something? No. I just don't want you to go out there and freeze to death. It'll be well below zero." It took some convincing, but I finally got her to stay. As she walked in, she said, "Why don't you have a Christmas tree?" "I can't see any reason why to have one. If I could, I would. This is the best time of year." "Look, I need to go out and get some food. You should have a good warm meal. I have some cash, not much, but you can go next door and buy what you need, clothes or whatever." Oh, no, I can't." "I know, no handouts." "Well, how about a Christmas present? You don't even know me. You don't have to know someone to give them a present." I didn't have much, but it was something. I left that morning putting my trust into a complete stranger. She could have taken everything I owned. I trusted she wouldn't. I returned about an hour later, and when I arrived, I would be greeted by something very unexpected. I walked into the room, and standing before me was a beautiful Christmas tree. The lights casting their warm glow over the entire room. I was speechless. A moment later, she stepped out. She had cleaned herself up, and she was radiant. I cannot explain the feeling I got from her. It was something I had never felt before, especially from a stranger. Yet, she didn't feel like a stranger. I felt like I had known her before. She looked at me and smiled. I nearly melted. She seemed to be at peace, not like earlier. "Merry Christmas," she said. "Merry Christmas? How? In less than an hour?" I know we are strangers, but what you did for me last night was the kindest, sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. And then today, to open your home to me is so selfless, so unbelievable. I had to show my thanks in a big way. It's Christmas Day. You should celebrate it. Why? Because it's a time to start over again, to forgive and to renew hope. There's something magical about this day. Actually, I find the magic really happens Christmas Eve, as you demonstrated last night. You really believe that? You've been sleeping in the streets in the icy cold with nothing at all. I don't have nothing. I have hope. I was stunned. She gave me another smile, and I could see she really did have hope. We spent the entire day together, sitting next to each other, talking and laughing and eating, and even crying at times. The entire time, I could not take my eyes off of hers. They seemed to sparkle, as if small electric pulses were swimming around. I had only known her for one day, and yet I had fallen in love with her. Don't ask me how. I don't even know how to explain it. I had said it was like I had known her before, but after talking with her and sitting so close to her, I can say I somehow have known her. She didn't feel like a stranger. She felt more like an extension of my soul. I was curious about her feelings of hope. I wanted to know how she could hold on to that with everything she had lost. She took my hand in hers, and in a gentle voice explained it to me. Life is beautiful. It is a gift. Sometimes things won't go the way we want them to. Sometimes we will lose everything and everyone we have. That doesn't mean that our lives are over. It doesn't mean that we need to give up. There is always a shining light at the end of a darkened tunnel. What you must do is not let that little fragment of light disappear. Hold on to it. Things will get better. It will. Everything is all up to you. You make it happen. You control your destiny. Yes, there will be roadblocks and so many things trying to stop you, but it is you who must fight through it. No one else could do it for you. God gave us the gift of free will. We can't blame him for things that go bad in our lives, even if we didn't cause those bad things. We must pick ourselves up, and we use his gift as we continue on. It could take days, or it could take decades, but as long as we fight on, we will survive. And when we do finally die, we will die happy, no matter where we are. All you need are 3 things. Stay determined. Believe in yourself and believe in life. And hope. As long as you hold on to those, you will make it. I believed her. Perhaps if it was someone else, I would have rolled my eyes and moved on with my miserable little life. But this was coming from someone who had lost it all. Her entire family gone like mine. Her home lost to a horrific fire. Her job gone to the way of the times. Her life savings stolen in its entirety by someone evil. Her only possession is the clothes she wears, and her only home is between the corner of 2 buildings. With all of that, she still has hope. She really believed that she would find her way and rebuild her life. That is what kept her alive. I had been living the better part of a decade now in misery. I was angry at the world for what it had done to me. Angry at God for taking my family away and destroying my dreams. Angry and hopeless. I could not see a better day ahead. I felt as if I was just waiting for the end. But somehow, in just a few hours of time, this extraordinary woman changed my entire outlook. I was suddenly determined. I believed that a better day was coming. I had hope. Real hope. While I sat there with her through the rest of the night, I just wanted to take her in my arms and hold on to her tightly forever. I had feelings that I had never felt before. I wanted to hold her, love her, and protect her. That Christmas would be a day I would never forget. It started just as an ordinary day of me not seeing a reason to wake up, to a day where I couldn't wait until tomorrow so that I could start my new life. I was ready. It was time for me to go after my dreams, the dreams I had let go. She looked into my eyes and smiled. She placed her hand behind my head ever so gently. It's time for me to go to sleep now. I want to thank you again for what you've done for me. My hope has brought me you, my angel. I very well could have died in the streets tonight, but your act of selfishness has brought me a warm place to sleep. I am forever grateful, and I will never forget you. Please just do one thing for me. Believe in hope. Just believe. Believe. With that, she said goodnight, with a sweet kiss that nearly melted me into a pool of mush. I closed my eyes, and the energy from her electrified my soul. When I opened my eyes, it was morning. The place was so quiet. All I could hear was the ticking of the clocks. Tick, 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 tick. Did I dream all of that yesterday? Is she really here? I got out of bed and got dressed. I didn't want to disturb her. This was probably the best sleep she's had in a long time. I walked past her door, and it was opened. As I peeked in the room, it was in the condition it was before she came here. It was as if she never used it. My God, did I actually dream it all? I peered down the hall into the dining area where my jacket was on the chair. The very jacket I had given up to her. It wasn't until I entered the living room when I would have my answer. As I entered, standing before me, was the very Christmas tree she had put there. Right near where we had sat with each other were the 2 mugs we had hot chocolate in. It wasn't a dream, but where was she? I searched all over for her, but she was gone. I put on my jacket and went out into the cold to search. I looked by street sides and even shelters. I could not find her. I looked for 2 days straight before I realized she was gone forever. I was saddened. How could she do this? Why would she leave? God had sent me my soulmate, and then he took her away. As I sat by the tree in sadness, I heard a cling and then a clang. I looked down and noticed an ornament had fallen from the tree. As I lifted it up, I didn't recognize it. It was not there last night, nor did I ever own it. It was a glass angel, and somehow didn't shatter from the fall. I then noticed a small strip of paper stuck to the back of it. I pulled it off, and written was just one word: hope. I pondered it for a moment, and then I realized something. God had not sent me my soulmate. He sent me an angel. From that day forward, I changed my life. Things were not easy, but I held on to hope, and I remembered my angel. I held her tightly within me. I continued to chase my dreams, making each one of them come true, and most of them have. I am happy. I have been happy ever since that special Christmas day. I never did see her again, although once I thought I did. I was with my wife and kids picking out a Christmas tree, and I saw a woman sitting next to a very sad-looking old man at a bus stop, right across the street. She was too far for me to really know if it was her, but I noticed that she began talking to this man, and within seconds he was smiling. I think she had found someone new to save. Perhaps she gave him the same special message she had given me: hope.